Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Well, it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. What's going on in the stock market today? Dow's up about 250 points. Nasdaq's up 150. That's not how we started the day off. The Dow was down about 250. So it's really had a 500-point swing. The jobs market came out and we created more jobs, sent the markets tumbling. Dow dropped about 250, but now we're up 250, 500-point swing in the Dow just so far today. And the day's only halfway over. We'll see where that ends up. All right, so we were in this oversold position, and we talked about it. Well, oversold market was due for a bounce. And I actually thought the S&P would come down and touch the 200-day. Almost touched it this morning, but no, getting the short squeeze now, getting a little bit of a bounce upward. Now, this bounce could be very sizable. We could see a bounce of a couple hundred S&P points, maybe up to the 4,400. 4,500 level on the S&P. We'll see how that all plays out, but there was a big drop today on the jobs news, and then we got this short squeeze going on right now. Let's get over to the real estate market. Now, we got some good news there, some good news. All right. So Bank of America, they came out and they said, hey, there's going to be no housing crash. That's great news, right? Well, this is the same thing they said right in before the 2008 housing crash, right? And when Bank of America comes out and says it, you can almost bank on it. Now, here's why. All right, we already have a market that is crashing, right? Okay, no, it's not the housing market, not yet, but it's the bond market, right? The bond market is actually crashing. It's having one of the biggest crashes it's ever had. Now, if you had a 10-year bond in just since 2020, it's down 50%. 50% in the bond market. Now, here's the problem with the bond market. The bond market has become illiquid. Now, when the jobs numbers came out, the bond market started free falling again. Now, somebody came in and started buying that market. Now, I got to guess who that is. Maybe you do also. But okay, so the bond market was free falling again today, and they started buying it. But the bonds are down 50%. Now, why is that? Well, they're not liquid. The rates are going up. You see, as interest rates go up, the bonds crash. Bonds crash, it forces the rates higher. Now, what's this doing? It's putting extreme stress on the banking system, Now, right now, as we talk, we got another bank failing, another bank crisis, right? Now, this is over in the UK. This is called Metro Bank. This is a big bank in the UK. It's free falling. The stock is crumbling. They're trying to raise $500 million just to keep it liquid, just to keep it going. Look, this is a worldwide problem, This is not just the United States problem. The credit crunch is coming, and it's going to freeze up the system, and it's going to lock everything down, including real estate. Real estate deals already are at a standstill, but they won't be allowed to happen. It won't be possible unless you're paying cash, and the cash buyers will be paying a lot less money. Now, the bond market already down 50%. Now, I say real estate prices will still drop 40 to 50% from here. But we got another bank failing, and look right now it is going to take so much money to bail out the banking system. I used to think that we still had 5 years left before the system crashes. We do not have 5 years left. Maybe 3. Maybe it crashes this month. That's how close we're getting to the end times here. You see, we can have, if they want to give the depositors back their money. See, the banks, they don't have the money anymore. They've lost the depositors' money, at least 50% of it, probably more than that. So they don't have the depositors' money. Now, if we want to give the depositor their money back, we're going to have to go on print trillions and trillions of dollars. We're going to have to print at least $1 trillion every month, $1 trillion. That cannot be sustained. That will crash the system. That's where we're at right now. now. Banks are starting to blow up, and it's worse than the banks blowing up. It's the derivative market. Now, the derivative market, it sounds complicated. It's really not. Okay, look, if you have a stock, right? If you have a stock like Apple Computer, and you can buy an option on that stock. The option is a derivative, right? So as all derivatives are their bets on top of the market. They're bets on top of the market, and then there's bets on the bets. And the derivative market is $1 quadrillion. Actually much bigger than $1 quadrillion, but nobody can count that high, so we'll just call it $1 quadrillion. And this is starting to break under the surface. As we raise these rates, as the bonds continue in free fall, what's falling apart? It's the derivative market. Now, the derivative market goes, the whole system comes crashing down because you cannot print $1 quadrillion. Now, everyone says, but Mike, this is an election year. They'll prop the market up. Look at the problems worldwide, and the rest of the world really doesn't care if we have an election year or not, because the system is starting to break. The system is starting to crack. This is going to send your house down 40, 50%, maybe more. And we're going to talk about that right now. Okay, so why do I think the housing market's going to crash 40 to 50%? There's a lot of reasons for that. Investors, they want to get out of the market, right? Right now we're still in the good times. You can get close to what Billy Bob got. But there's a bomb waiting to go off. It's called the gray bomb. Now, have you heard of the gray bomb? Probably not. Okay, so this is people that are in retirement. They're in retirement, and this gray bomb is going to hit the housing market, right? Okay, 50% of houses in the United States are owned by people 55 years of age and older. Okay, a lot of these people are retired. Retired people, they got these houses, right? And people getting ready to retire. People my age, the baby boomers, they're getting ready to go into their retirement years. They don't have money. They're broke. I know these people. The money is sitting in the house, right? So they got to get that money out of the house. They're going to be selling these homes in record numbers. Now, you can go out and you can buy a house right now. You can get close to that price Billy Bob got. But you wait 5 years from now, there's going to be, you're not going to be able to give a house away. The inventory that's going to flood this market is just going to pile on, right? It's just going to pile on to the market. Now, you say, but Mike, old people, they got to have a place to live too. They do, but they don't have money. They're running out of money. They didn't expect inflation to be over 10% a year. They didn't expect you to increase the taxes on the HOA fees on them. They budgeted out. They're getting hurt right now. They're in big trouble, and they don't know what to do. A lot of them are going to be dumping the homes onto the marketplace. Now, okay, look at 61% of retired people are more afraid of running out of money than they are afraid of dying, okay? Because they know they're going to run out of money, and that scares them. They don't care about dying anymore. They just don't want to run out of money, right? 61%. 50% of Americans say it would take a miracle. Now, I'm a Christian boy and I believe in miracles, but it would take a miracle for them to achieve retirement security. People getting ready for at retirement age, they don't have any money. I know these people. They're dead broke. They're out there driving Uber right now. They're doing Uber Eats, because they need extra income to supplement the Social Security just so they can stay living indoors. Now, look, there's a lot of homeless people right now. A lot of old people are homeless. More old people are homeless now than they were in the Great Depression. That's pretty sad if you ask me, but maybe that's the direction we're headed. We're headed to that Great Depression era, right? I mean, these old people, they can't afford their home, so they're becoming homeless. I know these people. A couple of them are my friends. Look, they live in cars. They have cars still. They still can afford their car. These are people that are working, I mean, I don't even want to say where they're working, but they're working at big companies, but they don't make enough to live indoors. Okay, I have one guy. He drives an hour and a half to work, but he lives in a campsite, right? He lives in a campsite. Anyways, he has to move every 2 weeks because they only let him stay in the campsite for 2 weeks. But he says this is where the new homeless are living. You go to campsites, when I was a kid, it used to be a place you go camping with your family in the summertime. But no, it's filled up up with homeless people now. It's hard to get a campsite reservation. My buddy, he's got to move from campsite to campsite every 2 weeks because that's all he can stay there. Now, it only costs him $600 a year for the campsite permit. And, that's pretty cheap living, right? But that's where he's hanging out. I have another buddy. He's kind of bought this minivan. He just parks it in random places. But these are people with jobs. These are homeless people. These are people my age. I mean, old people are homeless now. Even the working people that are old are getting homeless. So, okay, so back to the housing market. All right, so this gray bomb is going to go off, man. They're going to be dumping these houses onto the market. And you don't think they are, but believe me, I get the calls. I'm a real estate broker. There's inventory coming. It's going to be coming really fast. Now, where are the people going to go live? Well, a lot of them are going into retirement homes. Retirement homes, a lot of old people getting old. I'm still young, but people are going into retirement homes. Okay, some people are moving back in with their kids, right? They move back in with their kids. They downsize. They have a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. I'll just tell you a story quickly. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. This lady, she calls me up. She wants to sell it. I go, all right, we can do that. Where are you going to? She's going into a senior community. And it's a mobile home park, a senior community of just mobile homes. And it's relatively nice. I mean, she doesn't need that 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom place anymore. So we sold that. We moved her into the mobile home park. That's the direction that old people are headed, right? Okay, now some people, they're just leaving the country. I have a lot of friends. They're just taking their money and they're just leaving the country. Some of them don't have any money to take, but here's what they do have. They have a Social Security check. Can't live on a Social Security check in this country, so they get their Social Security check and they take it to another country and they live there. That's just what they do. Colombia is one spot. A lot of countries, Costa Rica, a lot of countries, expatriates. That's where they're moving to. They're moving out of the country so they can afford to live on their meager Social Security check. And that's happening right now. My sister, she's got her 50-year high school reunion this weekend. Okay, so that's exciting, right? So I work out in my gym. I work out with one of the teachers from our high school. Anyways, he was talking to me. He was all excited because he's going to her 50-year reunion also. And then he told me, well, he just had his 60-year reunion. I go, oh, that's interesting. How was the 60-year reunion? Well, over half the people were already dead. Half the people already dead. You see, their baby boomers are getting older. They're starting to die off. My sister class, I asked them, well, what other teachers will be there? And he looked at me kind of funny. He goes, all the teachers, they're dead, Mike. They're old. They'd be 100 years old. We're getting older. We're aging. The gray bomb's going to go off. Yes, homes are going to be sold. Now, some people say, well, but Mike, the kids that are living in the basement, they'll just come up and live in the main house when the people die. Now, I had one like that. Okay, his mom just passed away. He was living in the basement. He thought he could live in the main house. But out here in California, there's a problem. It's called Prop 19. Prop 19, his mom was paying $1,200 a year in property taxes. Well, as soon as she passed away, the property tax went to $30,000 a year. Little problem. The kid living in the basement doesn't have $30,000 a year, so he had to sell that house. You see, they're old people. They're starting to be old, and they're starting to sell these big houses. They have these McMansions. They're dumping them. And the smart ones are selling now. Why they still can. Why they can get the house price that Billy Bob got close to it, probably within 10%. Now, I know in your area, nobody gets old, nobody dies. So it's not a problem with this gray bomb. But this gray bomb is going off in just about every area in the United States. It's going to be hitting the markets. This is where the inventories come from. People think, no, Mike, you're wrong. Look, as soon as there starts to be a crack in the housing market, this inventory is going to be dumped onto the housing market. People are nervous right now. They're very nervous, man. If you're a homeowner waiting to sell, you're getting real nervous because you're seeing the bond market. You're seeing interest rates skyrocket. Now, the realtor will tell you that those raising rates on the mortgages, that's going to make your home go higher. And if you believe that stuff, well, go ahead. Hurry up and buy because you're going to miss out, man. It's the last chance you're going to get to buy at the top. But this gray bomb is going up. People are getting older. People are moving out. People are starting to, they're starting to pass away. They're starting to go to the old folks' homes. But first, they have to sell their house because that's where their money is. They don't have money. People haven't saved for retirement. There's no pension plans. Well, there are pension plans. If you have one of those, that's great. But the pension plans are in trouble also. Why are they in trouble? Same reason. The bond market, bonds coming down, rates skyrocketing, all the investments that they made are now half off. You're probably not going to get your pension. You might be lucky, be one of the lucky ones, get 20 to 30% of your pension. A lot of people are worried about Social Security. Let me tell you, they should be worried about Social Security. They want to cut it. I know you paid into it all these years, but they want to cut it. Why? Because they don't have the money. They took your money and they spent it. Social Security is not funded. When it started, there was like 16 people working for every one person that took it. Right now, we're down to 2 people working for every one that gets it. This doesn't work. The numbers don't work. Something's going to break. Something's going to give. I used to think we had 5 years. We don't have 5 years. I don't think we have 3 years. Maybe we still have a year. Let's hope and pray we still have a year before the system starts to break, before the system goes down. I know it's Friday and I get carried away with some of this depressing stuff, but it's what we talk about on this channel. If you like to talk about it, give me the thumbs up. Why not? I'm Tall Mike. Get out to everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk more next week. Bye-bye now.